Hi friends, I'm Raina.
And I'm Drew.
And this is Instant Movie Reviews with Raina and Drew. We are hanging out on a Thursday preview, of a movie that it's about to come out tomorrow, I think is the official day it comes out. We like it when we get to see them a little bit early, and then Drew is quick with the edits. So Drew, what are we seeing tonight?
We are seeing The Drama. This has been on my radar ever since I saw the first trailer for it. I thought it was one of the best trailers that I've seen in recent memory, and that it really intrigues you about the movie, but it doesn't spoil anything. So we're going to meet your friend and coworker Ange, and we're going to have a good time. Stars Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. I think the last thing I saw Robert Pattinson was Mickey 17 back when we started the channel, before anyone was watching us at all. I'm looking forward to it. What are your thoughts of it going in?
Well, first of all, Ange really doesn't like our Pats, and for her to want to see a movie with him in it, you know that it's intrigued her as well.
Yeah.
She had the movie spoiled for her through somebody posting something on Instagram like a week ago, and she's very disappointed that happened, but she's still interested enough that she wants to see it. But this was like a masterclass in doing a trailer, and it wasn't misleading. Like, I found a lot of the horror trailers we've seen recently a bit misleading. You know, long legs felt like a little bit misled and stuff like that. This was like, okay, like I can tell these people have chemistry. There's good actors. We have some semblance of the story. There are a couple getting married and like a wrench gets thrown into it. And we don't really know what the problem is. We just know that there is a problem, and we're very invested.
We know that Zendaya's character has a secret of some kind.
She's done something.
She's done something that is not well received by the other people who hear it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's getting good reviews so far. I'm excited. I've been very much looking forward to this one.
And it's also got a bit of like off-kilterness to it, and weirdness, creepiness even. Like, some of the trailers they've done for it have felt a little bit like David Lynch. Like, there's been these couple of ones where it's like they're posing to get pictures, but then they deadpan into the camera. And then they did like a bit of a Harlequin photo shoot for it, where they were both in like the powdered face makeup and everything. And like, Robert Pattinson is just really becoming a chameleon, and I find it's timed since he became a dad. He's had all these really weird and interesting roles come out, and I'm just like, is this what you're doing to like avoid having to stay up all night with your baby? Maybe.
Yeah.
No, he's like, I've always actually really liked Robert Pattinson. I've always felt like he didn't get the credit he deserved. And even though Twilight is one of those films that people are like, Twilight, he was very good in Twilight for what he was supposed to play. Like, he played the character very well when you realize he's British and he did like an American vampire thing.
Yeah, both he and Kristen Stewart are much better than that franchise led people to pigeonhole them. And I'm glad that both of them were able to pull themselves out of that teen romance kind of.
Yeah, and she's had like some really cool things come out, and she's got more things that she's doing. So, you know, they've both really been good success stories from that franchise, because not everybody was. Like, a lot of the people in Twilight got stuck in Twilight, and they still do like conventions for those Twilight characters. So
has anyone ever heard from Taylor Lautner again?
Yeah. And then Zendaya is another example of somebody who kind of beat the margins too, because she was a Disney star, you know, and a lot of them can't get out of that little pigeonhole. And she did Dancing with the Stars, and she started doing all these movies, and she got in with Marvel. And I remember when she was cast with Mary Jane, and people were flipping out, and she proved them all wrong. She was fantastic. She really seems like she has a good head on her shoulders too. I really enjoy her interviews. I read that she's been very loyal to her stylist that she's had since she started, and he's been with her like this whole way, and she still keeps him. And like, she's just so well put together. I kind of went on a deep dive reading about her recently, and just like both her parents were teachers and all this cool stuff. Like, she's got a bright future, I think. Now, I did read a quote recently that she has so many things coming out this year that she's planned a break for after this year, because she doesn't want people to get tired of her. Yeah. She's actually worried. I think she has something like 5 things coming out this year. So it's going to be wild. This is the first thing, though, I think.
It's the year of Zendaya.
The year of Zendaya. I love it.
All right, so we got to beat the Super Mario Galaxy lines, because tomorrow is Good Friday, so there's going to be a lot of kids with their parents here, so I'm expecting the popcorn line is going to be a bit lengthy. So we're going to go in, we're going to find Ange, we're going to get our popcorn, take our seats, and we'll be back in a few minutes to let you know, spoiler-free, we're not going to tell you what the secret is. We'll be back in a few minutes to share our spoiler-free thoughts on The Drama.
The Drama!
Well,
well, we're in the freezing cold, and we just saw the movie, and Ange really enjoyed it.
Oh, Ange loved it.
Ange loved it. I really, really loved it. I think it's going to be polarizing.
Yeah, definitely.
It's one of the cringiest movies I've ever sat through in a good way.
Mhm.
You're supposed to feel cringe. The way some of the characters and storyline is written, you are supposed to be like skin-crawlingly cringe.
Mhm.
But I could tell that for some people in the audience, it was too much cringe.
Yeah.
There was one point where the cringe was so hard that I was looking around the audience and I could literally see, oh shit! So there was one part in the theater where it got so cringy that I looked around and people were literally going like this, and I could hear people squealing. I tend to squeal when things are too cringy. I'll be
Yes,
like,
you do.
ooh, and Drew's not sure if I'm liking it or not because I have like a visceral reaction to cringy things. And the entire audience was having a visceral reaction to the cringe. So if you can't handle cringe, if it makes you too uncomfortable, this is not the movie for you. But it is a wild ride.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild. You compared it to what?
So I would compare it to an R-rated episode of The Office. In particular, the thing that comes to mind most clearly is the famous dinner party episode of The Office. That it's watching like a train wreck in slow motion and everyone is behaving badly and it's just disaster after disaster after disaster.
But they're very committed and serious to it. So in The Office, like, you feel like you're in on the joke.
Mhm.
In this, they're playing it like it's a drama, like it's a dramatic movie. They're playing it like it's very serious, right? So it is like when everybody's acting up and being dramatic, which is the perfect name for this freaking movie, like, it gets under your skin, man.
Although I will say, so again, we promised we weren't going to reveal what Zendaya's secret from the trailer is. It gets revealed fairly early on.
Very early
in the film.
The trailer is basically just clips from the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, it really does not show you much of the movie.
And once it gets revealed, it's sort of the fallout of that revelation and the way that the other characters respond to that and adjust that information. But it's more than just that. Like, I thought that the other characters, like the Alana Haim's character, would be more peripheral, but everybody has like a central role that sort of culminates in this sort of big collision of all of these calamities happening all
Every
at
little
once.
side character ends up getting pulled in. It's wild. This was extremely well written, like extremely well written. One of the best dialogue films we've seen in a long time. Very, very quick. Very, very quick. It was almost too quick in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not paying attention, you're going to miss some of the jokes because it's just very quick.
And there are some quick edits that can be a little jarring at first once you get into the rhythm of how the movie's going. But at first I was sort of like, I'm getting a little disoriented by how it's like quick cutting from like the scene you're in to like a quick couple of seconds of flashback.
Yeah, and I think part of that was them trying to, like, the makers of the film trying to also induce the stress response before a marriage, like getting ready for a wedding. So it really did a good job of that. Music and sound effects was really important to it, although you may not realize it because it was done in such a subtle way that I would know that something cringy was about to happen, and I'd be like, how do I know that? Oh, the music.
Yeah.
But it's not the music you're expecting. Like, it was very off kilter. I totally understand the interview I saw now where Zendaya and Robert were just like, nah, our significant others aren't going to get jealous kind of thing. I get it now. Although I will say that, like, they have really good chemistry, like, through the whole film. And just like as two actors working together, they play off each other very, very well. There was a lot of subtlety things going on back and forth between them and individually, especially Robert. Like, holy cow. He had like he went from like 180 with his character and we saw like a whole huge range. It reminded me of Mickey 17 in that we just got to see him do so much.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a very acting heavy performance.
Right. I went from being like the first 5 minutes, like, oh my gosh, this guy is so sexy. Is this going to make me mad at my husband? And then by the end of it, I was like, oh, Robert, no.
Yeah. I will say, though, again, without spoiling what Zendaya's secret is, it is dark. and it's on a subject matter that some people may find uncomfortable
and triggering,
or potentially triggering, but we can't give a specific trigger warning for this review because that would spoil
I
the
will
secret.
say I didn't predict it.
No.
When Ange told me it got spoiled for her, I kept asking, oh, is it this kind of a thing or is it this nature of a thing? I was way off. I thought it was going to maybe do like a Kevin Smith kind of thing. Like, remember Chasing Amy? I thought this was going to be like a Chasing Amy kind of movie, but it wasn't. Like, it's just everything I thought it was. It wasn't, but it was so much better. And it had, Ange and I were saying that it had kind of like those Annie Hall style monologues in it as well. Like, it was just so well written. It's bonkers to me how well written it was.
Yeah, so I would describe it as a dramedy. So again, like in a nutshell, the essential idea is that Zendaya's character and Robert Pattinson's character are getting married soon. We get a little bit of how they meet. The secret of Zendaya's comes out like really close to before the wedding, and everyone who's involved kind of has to adjust to this, and then it goes like snowballs from there and goes crazy. That's really the only description I can provide of this movie without spoiling it.
Yeah, and you know, every single actor was phenomenal, very well cast. I personally think this movie should do extremely well. The thing I'm worried about is I do worry that it's going to be too cringy and that people might feel a little bait and switched. I personally don't think it's a bait and switch movie. I feel the trailer is very open about
it's going to be dark and it's going to be twisted.
A dark, twisty comedy, right? But I will say that the people in front of us did not seem impressed, and they were saying that they thought it was very different than the trailer. I don't know what trailer they were watching, because to me it seemed very obvious. But you guys, if you guys think back to our review of Song Song Blue, I was worried. Like I said, that's a really good film, but I'm worried that people are going to find it too cringy, or people are going to see it on a whim and then not like it. And I was wrong. Loads of people loved it and became our most popular reviewer on our channel. Kate got nominated for an Oscar. I'm talking about these people like I know them. Kate
Give us a call, Kate.
Yeah, Robert.
Yeah.
But
Song Song Blue was much more of a feel-good film. I'm not going to say that that's a downer, but that's a dark comedy.
It's a dark comedy. I wouldn't say it's a downer. It's definitely got feel good moments, but it does circle around, and like I felt good leaving the theater. I kind of want to see it again because it was so stressful watching it the first time that I feel like watching it a second time I can absorb a bit more because I'll be less stressed. You know how horror movies do that? Because once you know the jump scare, and you can kind of settle in then and watch it, and it just feels comfortable. So it's not the jump scares in this movie, it's the cringe. It's like this roller coaster of cringe. Like,
so Zendaya was excellent, Robert Pattinson was excellent, no surprises there, you expect that from them. But Alana Haim, I want to take a moment to talk about. She plays the maid of honor, this friend of both of theirs who really reacts viscerally to what Zendaya's secret is. And I know her mainly as the member of the all-girl pop rock band Haim. She's in it with two of her sisters, I believe. This is the first thing I've ever seen her act in, and I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. Her attitude and her performance really impressed me. And if you're in a movie, like sharing scenes with actors of the caliber of Robert Pattinson and Zendaya, and you're still sticking out to me, I'm like, that is a sign that you are a really good actress. And I'm going to mispronounce his name, so you say his name, the guy from Elemental.
Oh, Mamoudou, I think it's Mamoudou. Yeah. We'll put his name correctly on the bottom. I just think of him as Wade because he's Wade from Elemental, and I know I shouldn't think of actors by their characters, but that's how I got introduced to him.
Yeah, he doesn't get as much to do, but I really
liked him. Yeah, well, he was in Archive 88, which I freaking loved on Netflix, and it only got the one season. I'm pretty sure it's Mamoudou. He was really great, and even just like some of the background cast who don't show up towards the end, like Zendaya's father, he's only got like a couple of lines, but he's a well-known actor and was really good. And the DJ who shows up was really interesting, and like everybody was just
the wedding photographer who doesn't even have a name, but she is hysterical, and I loved every
smile, just like how you would on a normal day. Like, that's not a spoiler, but hilarious.
And I'm forgetting the actress's name, but Robert Pattinson's character's co-worker Misha has a significant role in it, and I really appreciated what she did in it. It was a really well acted, really well written movie. Again, I feel like it's coming out too early in the year to be sticking around in people's mind for awards, predictions, but I really do feel like Zendaya and Alana Haim in particular really impressed me.
I'm really impressed with Robert. Like, I don't know if he could win a Best Oscar nomination for it for male, because it's always so hard, and he's going to be up against Dune and everything else this year. But like, it was one of the better ones of his entire career.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he was phenomenal in Lighthouse and like a lot of other ones that he's done, but like he was really good. And I really think when an actor can take you from loving to hating them to loving them to hating them back again, like, that's a really good actor. And literally, that's what that man does to me. Some films I see him in and I'm like, oh, that's right, Robert Pattinson's kind of sexy. And then later I'm like, ew.
And sometimes in the same film.
Yeah, sometimes in the same film. And I'm like, oh, he's so adorable. Oh, he's a freaking idiot. Like, so yeah, like, I feel like, that's really great range. But overall, what would you rate it, Drew?
So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, just because it lived up to my expectations. So many times I'll see a trailer for a movie, particularly an A24 film, and it'll get me really hyped and I'll be really excited to see it. And then I'll see it and I'll be like, yeah, that was fine. It wasn't as good as I was hoping. I'm happy this one didn't disappoint me. The only, again, like, the quick edit jumps took me a little bit of time to adjust to. It's very morally gray, and in some ways I like the ambiguity, but there's other parts that I'm like, I'm not sure I entirely understand the characters to the degree that I would like to. Those are the only knocks that I would have for it, though. So it's a 9 out of 10, just slight reduction for those things, because I feel like giving it a 10 would be too much.
So the things that Drew doesn't like, I loved about it. Okay. I loved how disorienting it was. It kind of put me in their shoes right away. I loved how ambiguous and morally gray things were, that it wasn't kind of fed to us in black or white. Although I will say that it is hard sometimes to adjust your thinking to that, because you kind of want a straight up answer. Mm-hmm. But I think that's what makes the characters flawed and human, is that things are not in real life usually so easy. They usually are just a big mess. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I have to give it a 10 out of 10. And I know that I've given other films 10 out of 10 that are really, really good and have gone on to win awards, like, win awards. I think, did we give Sinners a 10 out of 10?
We gave Sinners a 10. We gave The Bride a 10, which I'm sure is a controversial opinion.
Yeah. So did we give The Bride a 10? Oh, wow. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we both gave The Bride a 10.
No wonder we're getting downvoted. People downvoted that video.
We're allowed to like what we like.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Listen, you want to go watch the big name YouTubers who are going to pander a little bit and tell you things are great or bad based on what the audience likes. We're telling you what we think, okay? And this is Raina's personal opinion out of movies that I've seen. This is going into my top favorite of all time movies, and I will rewatch it like a freaking comfort watch. Like, it's going to become a comfort movie for me. And I don't have any notes on it being better, and I feel like on second viewing I'm going to see more things in it that I'm going to appreciate. It even had a little bit of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind to me. There was the way that they would jump back and forth showing you the past, but then also projections of what could be, or a character's interpretations of things. That kind of jumpiness and the off-kilter music reminded me of Eternal Sunshine, along with the themes of like relationships and how it went. So, and that is like my favorite movie of all time. So it does call back to that for me. But yeah, I have to give it 10 on 10 because I really can't knock it for anything. I'm not saying that you're going to go and love it and think it's, a come to Jesus movie where it's like, oh wow, this should get all the Oscars. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying, I just think it was I can't improve on it. I just think it was a really good movie. I think it was really good.
Definitely not going to be for everyone. One I was saying to you and Ange when we were chatting after the credits rolled, that one of the fun parts of seeing that in a theater that was almost full was I was just like, there are going to be people in this room who are hating this, and there was something oddly fun to me about that, because it's like, strap in everyone, we're all going to experience the same movie and take from it whatever you're going to take from it.
Yep. Yeah. I am so sad that people, I feel that the problem with the internet these days is people really do let their minds get swayed by just the chatter, the endless comments on Facebook, people who are leaving opinions that aren't even seeing the movie, or people amplifying opinions when they haven't seen a movie or something. And I feel like folks miss out on actually good experiences because they just do that. Once in a while it's right, like that pool horror movie I was so interested in, Night Swim. I mean, that was overwhelmingly, but I didn't go see Megan 2.0 in theaters because of the online chatter, and then I watched it on streaming and it was hilarious and fun. Yeah, it wasn't like scary like the first one kind of was, but I actually still really enjoyed it. It wasn't as good as the first one, but I was like, oh, that came out during a dry spell of movies. I should have just gone to see it. I would have had fun, you know?
Sometimes the negative chatter is correct, though. I always bring up Return to Silent Hill on this channel now, but like, I should have listened. Should have listened to the critics. Should have listened and spared myself that.
You got to make up things for your own mind. If you're cinephiles like us and you like to go see movies and you're willing to take a risk, I think this is a great movie to take a risk on. That's what I'll say. Okay. 10 out of 10 for me. Might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I think if you're a movie person who likes movies, who has like an eclectic taste where you can find a little bit of every genre that you like, I think you'll like it. Like it was fun. It was fun. I haven't laughed that much in a long time or cringed that much since Song Song Blue.
So that is our spoiler-free initial out-of-theater reactions to the drama. Are you going to go check this one out? Have we persuaded you to go check this one out? Please give us a like if you like this review, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let us know what you thought. Like, we love engaging with you guys in the comments. Tell us, do you think we're right? Did you think this was great? Were you like the gals in front of us who were like, that sucked? Please tell us what you think.
It was so dramatic.
It was so dramatic.
It was the perfect name for the friggin' film. I don't know what else you could possibly call it. Like, the drama was the perfect name for it. It could be like a spoof of a Shakespearean play. Like, at one point I was like, is this some kind of like modern take on a Shakespeare? Because it's starting to feel that way.
Yeah,
like,
it definitely did have the farce.
Like a Midsummer's Night Dream kind of thing going on. Yeah, it was great. It was great. All right, guys. See you at the movies.
We'll see you at the movies.